guys! Welcome to this week's Sketchbook School Student Bulletin. I hope you all had a great week, and I'm sorry for posting this a day later than I usually do. I was actually traveling home from Texas, and my flights got a little bit rearranged due to Hurricane Harvey. But I'm back home in Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the backyard, soaking up this last little bit of summer. So I'll tell you what students have been doing as they wind down their summers in our closed Facebook group and in our classroom. In the closed Facebook group, a pretty exciting phenomena that students documented last week was the solar eclipse. And it was really cool to see students tackle something so vast and lofty on the pages of their sketchbooks. Typically, students shy away from drawing or painting the skies or large bodies of water, for instance. But for the solar eclipse, students got to really narrow in and focus on something really awesome happening before their very eyes. And I have to say their drawings were really unique, and it was cool to see what students saw from their vantage point, wherever they might have been. I have to say their drawings turned out a lot better than the views that I had in my little cereal box pinhole viewer. Also in the closed Facebook group, students were documenting all sorts of other things happening in their everyday lives and their neighborhoods, and not just the objects in front of them or part of their everyday routine, but little moments that were happening all around them that they happened to observe. One student, Vicky, actually noticed a small group of older men that met in a bowling alley in her town on the same night every week. And she started to observe them and noticed that she really liked the fact that these quirky older men all met at a bowling alley, but they met to just chat and play backgammon. They didn't even bowl while they were there. So Vicky just thought this was so charming that she decided to paint them using her oil paints and actually make an image of this little club that met every single week. And when she finally finished the painting, she actually went back to the bowling alley to show it to this group of guys. And sadly, a couple of them had passed away by this point, and one of them had moved to a nursing home. But she showed the two remaining members of this little club at the bowling alley her painting, and it actually brought tears to their eyes. So she ended up making prints for all of them to keep. And I thought that was the perfect way for someone to share their art in a really unique way. Another student, Anne, actually documented something that was a living creature, but not necessarily the normal people or pets that you do portraits of. Anne decided to document a tree in her neighborhood that was about to be cut down, and she almost treated this drawing like a memorial to this tree. And she pointed out that she loves drawing trees because she thinks they each have their own little unique personalities almost, with their bumps and their warts and their different qualities. So even once the tree is long gone, Anne's going to have this record of what this giant old majestic thing looked like, and I think it'll be really meaningful to her later on. Besides their daily drawings, observations, and personal projects, sometimes we see students leaking their homework assignments into the closed Facebook group, which is actually really exciting for us because it means that you guys enjoy doing your homework so much that you want to share it in multiple places and share it with lots of people, which makes us super happy. So in the closed Facebook group, we actually saw a lot of inklings of big head portraits that students learned in Le Pen's class in urban sketching this week. We even saw one of our faculty members, Jean-Christophe Defline from our storytelling course, meet up with Le Pen himself and do a portrait of this famous faculty member. His portrait turned out really great, and it was so funny to see Jean-Christophe's recollection of this experience. He called it chasing and capturing the rabbit. It was really cool to see two of our faculty members, and two rock stars at that, interacting with each other and drawing each other. We also had a couple students meet up in Amsterdam as part of a sketch crawl, and one student actually did a portrait of another student in the big head fashion. It might have been unintentional, but the portrait turned out really great and was a really quirky little drawing as part of a normal urban sketching meetup. In the classroom, students worked with Le Pen, as I said before. And he not only taught them about big head portraits and how to capture people in this whimsical way, but he also used blind contour drawings to help get students to loosen up. So in this big head homework assignment, students were actually able to relax and not be so strict about capturing every single realistic detail in the portrait that they were working on. It allowed them to kind of free themselves up and stay loose and have a lot of fun with what ended up being really quirky little portraits of friends, loved ones, and their pets. I think students had a blast with Le Pen, and now that they've learned this new technique for drawing portraits, They won't be so uptight moving forward about capturing the likeness of people around them. It really allowed them to be free and be playful, and I think this will benefit them in the long run as they tackle more and more portraits in their creative journey. I can't wait for students to dive into urban sketching next week with Nina Johansson, as she's the last instructor for this course. But if you haven't signed up yet, you can still join us by going to sketchbookschool.com/courses, as urban sketching will be available on demand. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys right back here next week. And I'm going to have some exciting sneak peeks from shooting with Kosha on location all week next week, as she's coming to the United States to shoot a class in Northeast Ohio. I can't wait to work with Kosha in person, and I can't wait to show you all a little behind the scenes action once we're together. So stay tuned and have a great weekend.